Hi, welcome to my weekly Facebook Live show. Obviously, Nelson knows who I am. Wonderful. I'm Jen Burson. I'm the founder of Generation PR and the creator of the Profitable PR Pros community. Somebody watching over on Generation PR, can you share this inside? Just click the share button on the side and share it inside Profitable PR Pros. You should be able to do that. I had it set up that way, but since I had broadcast issues, I had to close out that original broadcast that wasn't working. So maybe Gail or Nelson, if you just click share and post it in Profitable PR Pros, that would be so fantastic. Because I think this is a really good topic that is worth discussing. And it's sort of, for me, based on the premise that I think a lot of PR pros don't realize or have a hard time accepting, that when we talk to clients, we're vetting them too. Not everybody gets to work with you. You don't have to work with every single person that reaches out and is interested, fluff up the hair a little bit, that is interested in working with you. You know, you deserve to work with your dream clients. You want to work with clients that are going to be really fun to work with, that are going to build up your portfolio in a strategic way, and not suck the life out of you. You guys know that I always talk about vampire clients that just absolutely drain you. And there are always signs. There are always things that come up. Thanks so much, Gail. Things that come up in the phone call, discovery phase, or even the proposal phase, where you're like, and you tend to you tend to ignore your instincts because you think, well, it's money, and they reached out to me and they're interested in my services, so you think you have to try to win all that work. So I want to just kick this off with the premise that not everybody gets to work with you. And this is based on a thread in the Profitable PR Pros group. One of our members, Francesca, started a conversation around what you ask clients on a discovery call. And it was a really great discussion, lots of advice. And we have some shared by our members and me, just talking about what I ask clients on calls. But just keep in mind that not everybody gets to work with you. So if you're wondering what you should ask a prospective client before you start working with them, we know that asking the right questions will make a huge difference in how successful you are able to be in your business, optimizing profits, landing the clients that are aligned with your vision, and also setting you up for happiness and success as you're working with them. You want to love working with them. So, like I said, we got this in the Facebook group, and I'm going to answer that in this training, but I want you to keep in mind what I said. Vetting a new client is just so much more than just their budget. We're going to approach this from a much more comprehensive angle so that you get the information you need to really dazzle them with your proposal and in follow-up conversations, okay? Hi, Naisha. Oh my gosh, good to see you. Yeah, you want to love working with your clients. It makes your life so much easier, so much better. You don't have that sense of dread when you see an email or a phone call coming in from them. And part of that is from the vetting process, okay? So why should you vet prospective clients anyway? So you want to ask the right questions. It's so much more important, and they're going to ask your rate, and you want to really listen in these calls so that you're able to really figure out what their objectives are, their goals. It's how you're able to really optimize profits and meet their needs. So on these calls, you need to take charge. You need to embrace your role as the expert, as the leader, as the oh, my husband is texting or what? Hold on. Hi, Kelly. I hope you guys are all feeling better. I think my pets are going to start fighting in 1 second. Okay. Um, mm, Harley, come here. Jump up here. I cannot. I was recording a podcast yesterday and there was all this like, guys, there was all this like stuff. Oh, geez. Did you hear that? Okay. So the cat tried to jump on the desk to get away from Lola. And then he fell. He's old. He's like 18. And then he landed right next to her and he hissed at her like it was her fault. Anyway, moving past these fighting pets. Where was it? You want to take charge take charge and step into your role as the expert leader. I want you on these calls leading the client with your expertise. It's something we talk about a lot inside the Agency Accelerator. Prospective clients want to hear from you based on your expertise. And they're scheduling calls with you, not to get free strategy, but because you are the pro and they're seeking services that you know how to execute and you know more than them. And so when they call, just keep that in mind. Like, you are always one step ahead of your clients. You know more than them. So when they call you, they're going to ask questions and maybe they're not asking the right questions, or maybe they're missing a key piece of this that as the expert is critical to their success. Like, let me give you an example. I had a call yesterday with a prospective new client. Turned out way better than I ever imagined it could be. Huge company backing this brand, huge budget, not talking to another agency, and ready to go, and almost like too good to be true. So I'll report back if it is, but super good budget, right? And I started talking all about how they needed to embrace affiliate revenue opportunities, because that is one of the most compelling factors in landing media attention these days, because media platforms are looking to monetize and they bring in a lot of revenue with affiliate links, right? Take the money and run. I plan to. And she literally was like, we have been struggling running in place internally for 18 months. And I have learned more in the last half hour talking to you than we've been able to accomplish in the last year and a half trying to do it on our own. And she's just like, you know your stuff. And I wasn't shy about what I know, because I know it is going to help them, and I know it's going to help her see us as informed and experts in our field. But, if we're shy about it, or we're just addressing the client's questions and not sharing with them what they need to consider in order to be successful, like you're timid, like maybe they don't want to hear that, or maybe I'm going to sound bossy or whatever. They don't call men bossy, they call women bossy, but I don't, that doesn't matter. You need to embrace that role as the expert leader. So we talk about this all the time inside the Agency Accelerator, because they are there for your judgment. They want you as the pro to enlighten them on what it's going to take to be successful. They don't always understand all of the services that you offer, what's available to them, what they actually need, when they should start using these services. Like, part of our discussion was, let's focus for 6 months on a solid foundation, and then we can add on these other things based on where we see traction in our initial efforts. So we can sort of hold off on paid while we build organic earned media, and the budget's there, for paid when the time is right. So telling them how it should look and all of that, that is your role. That is your job. And clients may come to you thinking they need one thing, but when in reality, you as the expert really look at what they're up to and what they want to accomplish, and you would recommend something totally different. So, and I look at it like, even if they don't come on board, even if we don't secure them as a client, taking charge on these calls and asking the right questions really demonstrates your expertise, your willingness to serve them, how helpful you are, how confident you are in getting the results that you say you're going to get. And they'll go off into the world and they'll say, you know what, we ended up going in another direction, or they were out of budget, or we ended up just keeping it in-house, but I had a great conversation and that agency knows what they're doing. They know what they're doing and they'll refer you. And it's just about building those connections and confidently stepping into your role as an expert. Okay, so I want you to keep that in mind and don't be shy. You know, that's why I always say have a niche, because you'll know so much about what is going on in the niche. Not yet. We have to get them a proposal. Nelson asked, did this new client sign with you yet? This was a call yesterday. We owe them a proposal. And she wants to get us products to try, which I'm not mad at. Skincare company based on CBD. Big backing to this company. Very established, parent company. So we'll see. But this probably won't be decided until the marketing CMO meets with the CFO on Monday. So we'll get them a proposal by probably end of day tomorrow, and then let them get back to us if they need anything else. But I appreciate that confidence. I feel really good about it, and I'm super excited. So with that perspective of being the expert, stepping into your role as the leader, guiding them towards success, here are 4 questions that I want you to ask when you're talking to clients. And we walk through all of this inside the Agency Accelerator. And in fact, there's an entire lesson and checklist so that you can have it in front of you. And, did I get this information? I know that a lot of these things are sometimes maybe uncomfortable to ask, especially number 1, what is your budget? And I think even in that discussion, Nelson said, I never ask their budget. I have my own set pricing. If they can't afford me, I move on to other prospects, and I don't do proposals or RFP. They are a waste of time. I always ask budget because you get a lot of information from that. And yes, we have our own set prices for sure, but to me, this issue is so complex. It's not just, do I get the fee that I'm searching for, that I'm seeking? Sometimes you ask budget and you are pleasantly surprised that they have double the fee that you would normally charge. So I don't like the idea of leaving money on the table. And a lot of times when we ask budget, we will get an answer that is very generous and probably more than I would have. It gives us more room to staff and bring on people, and there's more profit margin. And if they come in and they say, this is my budget and it's really low, then I'll be very candid and I'll say, listen, candidly, this is way lower than where we sort of have entry level clients. And then it's a discussion. How much do I really want to work with this client? Do they have a product line that is going to put us on the map? Do they have something that I know will get a ton of great media for, and I want to really build my portfolio in that direction? We can be somewhat flexible, and I will let them know that I really want to make it happen for them. And so we will come in and maybe work at this reduced rate. And it's never where we're working at a loss, and it's never where we're not having a profit. Maybe it's just a little bit lower than what we hope to get, but we will make exceptions. And this is why I don't publish our rates anywhere, because it's really on a case-by-case basis. You talk to these clients and you know what their goals are, and we can see right away whether we can be successful or whether it's really going to be a struggle. And so asking budget and not publishing rates gives us that opportunity to be flexible. And I feel that our agency is maximally, if that's the right word here, profitable, because we don't have a set rate and we're able to go up. Yeah, I don't publish rates. We're able to go high, and be pleasantly surprised that there's a lot more budget, or we can really get them to bump it up by seeing that, wow, their rates are really a lot higher. And if they come in at somewhat of a discount, I'm really getting this value. Not that you're discounting your services and then discounting the service you provide to them. We don't do that. And I tell clients, if we are able to come in a little lower, it doesn't mean that you're getting less service or, fewer services, less time. It just means that we're, running lean and we're going to get momentum. And then in 6 months, we'll reevaluate. And we always put a time frame around it, but it's never at a loss and it's never not profitable. So we always ask, what's your budget? And you have to know in advance. You may not actually get an answer, but it doesn't hurt to ask. And this also will help you from wasting time creating a proposal. So if a client gives you their budget on a discovery or sales call and it's way out of your range, like not even a discussion, you can tell them that up front. Maybe you have a recommendation for them, for someone else. You want to be helpful. But I'm telling you, more times than not, the answer is a positive surprise for us. Like yesterday, the answer was very positive. I would have never thought they had the budget they stated they had. So, yeah, we do. We make the other guy go first to reveal their strategy. And more often than not, they'll tell you. They'll tell you because they've carved out budget for it. Some people are a little close to the vest and they'll say, well, why don't you, it's a range. Why don't you let us know? And then we after that kind of initial discussion, I have a sense of what they have behind them, like a good marketing team, a business that's, been running for a while, founders that have had previous success. Little factors like that tell me that there is going to be a budget, but they're looking for us to state it. And then in that case, like Nelson, I will come in with my rate. That's like the minimum that, we need to make in order to effectively support them. But more often than not, you will find out and either it's a no-go and you're like, I can't even get in. We're not even in the discussion here. Or you say, okay, all right. You're like, okay, great. Yeah, I think I can make that work. And you're like, oh my God, that was yesterday. I'm like, yeah, we can make that work. But it's like squarely in our range and for a very cool brand. So that's the very first thing I want you to ask, and do not feel uncomfortable asking. That is a question that comes when you are confident and you know that whatever that number is, either you can provide the value for that number because it's, a good amount, or it's really low and you can easily say, I'm so sorry, but, given these factors and this is the service we provide and our deep expertise and the results we get and, an agency of our, caliber, whatever, our rate is significantly higher than that. And I just don't want to waste anybody's time. Great. Always the first question. It's not for me the first question. It's one of the last questions for me. I ask a lot of other things first to really start thinking about, where is this brand now? What's their timing? What is their team like? Anyway, I'll talk about some other factors. The second one is really important and most people don't ask it. Ask them, have they ever had PR before? Have they ever worked with a PR agency? And if they haven't, then you probably can do a lot of foundation laying, telling them what to expect and when. And I love this because the expectation piece is so important. Yeah, it's a great thing to ask. The expectation piece is so important. You want expectations to be aligned. We know that really the number one source of client dissatisfaction, this shacket, right? I'm wearing a shacket. I feel like it makes me look like a linebacker. Now noticing I'm like, I have a small head and a big shacket. Anyway, oh my God. Mom, tell me when you see this on replay, text me if I look like a linebacker. Anyway, she'll be honest. My mom's always very honest. So you can really use this to your advantage and let them know how it typically works, what the time frame is, what they can expect, and when. I am keeping warm, and I have my fire burning over there. Thanks so much. I am warm, but I feel like I'm a linebacker. So yeah, expectations, timing, really set them up for how it's going to go when they work with you. But if they say yes, they have had a PR agency, you need to find out what didn't work, what would have made that experience more successful, and how could that last company that they worked with have improved their service. And sometimes you can find out that the client is not reasonable. And sometimes I will tell them, you know what, I think the last firm you worked with was doing what they could do, and it seems like the results they were having are probably pretty typical of what you could expect. And I'll tell them that and say, if you worked with us, it would probably go about the same thing. And I don't think about the same way as it went with them. And I don't think you gave them enough time. Now, if they were not communicating with you, or they were not meeting with you and telling you what was happening, or there were no product requests, and I'll even say sometimes we have media tell us they don't need samples because they're working from home. They're in, walk-up apartments in New York. They don't have the space for a bunch of boxes and products. More and more, we're getting features without sending products first. So that's not the be-all, end-all of success. But what was the problem? And if it's that they farmed it out to a junior person who wasn't getting their brand positioning, or they just had no traction whatsoever and very poor communication, you can learn a lot from that. So, and it also just kind of gets this conversation going in a meaningful way where you are problem solving for them. Gail says also, if they have had prior press, how did it impact their business? Yeah. And what types of press? Because we always ask to see press that they've had. And also if it's on their website, we've already looked at it, and we'll ask, we've been to your site and we've seen some features that, some of them in particular seem like they probably had an impact. How did these few impact your business? Or we'll ask them, what has been the most impactful effort to promote the business, so that we can figure out how we can do more of that. But that question, really simple question, is so powerful, and it really shows you're proactive and you want to provide them exceptional service. So you need to understand where it went wrong before, or where they felt they weren't getting excellent service. Okay. Number 3 you want to ask is, what are your goals and objectives? So simple. But they'll come to you and they may say what services they want, but they're not really giving you that initial insight into what they're looking to accomplish. So this is really important because you'll be able to educate your clients, help them set realistic expectations. So this often comes up with a sales goal. And, if a client thinks that their goal with PR is to make a certain amount of sales or increase in sales, right from the start, you get to educate them that PR doesn't necessarily equal sales, that the effort for PR is more in terms of exposure and visibility and brand awareness. And that's hard. It's cumulative for the consumer, and it's also cumulative in the results that you get with the media. And that is hard to quantify. You don't know how many times somebody has seen their brand mentioned in the media before they make that buying decision. You just don't know. So we have to kind of set them straight. So you want to understand their goals. And in the pitch lab, we actually have a really good lesson on creating a strategy for clients once you're retained. And it's like goals, objectives, tactics. There's a fourth one. I'm like totally blanking on it, but it's really understanding their goals and what are the objectives in order to get those goals furthered. So like, what are you doing specifically And then what are the actual steps you're going to take? Those are the tactics. People confuse tactics and strategy all the time. But strategy is like the approach you're going to take, and the tactics are the actual steps you're going to implement. And we go into that, and we also have a strategy template in the pitch lab, but it's really understanding what is this brand looking to accomplish. And the call yesterday was awesome because the thing that they're looking to accomplish is so much more simple than other kinds of press that take a lot more time. So they're looking for roundups and lists and being on those listicles. And I'm like, we can do that all day long in our sleep, because they want the SEO value. They just want, people make buying decisions from those lists. The bigger like brand features, those are all great, but they were like, it doesn't have to be that complex. We just need to be on a lot of lists. And I'm like, cool, we can do that all day long. So understanding that goal, for them, the goal was to help improve SEO. We can help with that. We are not an SEO agency. I told them that, but they get the value that meaningful links from top ranking sites will have for their SEO. Okay. So that's number 3, are what are your goals and objectives? What are their dreams? What do they want for their brand? Does the founder want to get exposure? Does the brand want to be aligned with other premium brands? Do they want to be known as an organic, effective organic company? Are they rebranding? Are they relaunching? Are they launching a new product? What are their dreams? Do they want this product to be the most successful launch in the history of the company? And then it's like, what's your budget for that? So, that's a really important question, because then you can build a strategy to help meet their goals versus just answering the questions and offering the service that they're asking you for, because it's not always, they may have a goal that doesn't actually get served by one of the services that they've asked you for. Like there's some better allocation of their time and money that you can be providing to them. Question number 4, and this is for product-based businesses. That's my jam. That's my expertise. That's who we represent, is what is your sales strategy? So this is where you're going to want to listen for things like having a great e-commerce site. You want to go to their site and look at it. Is it embarrassing? Would you send an editor there? We've had that happen where we're like, ugh. Editors are going to look at this and think it's janky and not want to talk about it. If they don't have this, the other thing is commission. So affiliate commission set up either through a major retailer like Target, Amazon, or do they have affiliate on their back end through their own website? And if they don't have this set up now, this is when you get to jump in and talk all about that. And that's what I did on my call yesterday. We let the potential client know this is just an absolute non-negotiable in this current PR landscape. And I always say to them, we've been doing this a long time. PR is a game, and there are rules, and the rules change. And it's our job to help navigate our clients with what the current rules are, so that they can help, that they can have an opportunity to win the game and get press. So we said the number 1 rule of the game right now with product press is affiliate commission opportunity. And we really talked about what that looks like now for them and other factors they're going to implement that will have a positive impact on that. So you need to make sure that your client understands that the opportunity is really essential for them moving forward. And also, we did a huge masterclass on this in the pitch lab. And, that's in there just because we want to make sure that our members are really up to date on strategies that are really important now, so they can guide their clients through that. Other tips for vetting prospective clients: get in this mindset. You have to be in that right mindset before hosting a discovery or sales call. So it's that way you feel on the inside that will seriously affect your tone, your confidence. I love to go into discovery calls with the mindset already that this is my client. There's nobody better for them than us. and this is my opportunity to lose. It's mine, it's mine in the bag, and we're just going to serve them and help them out. So we come in already serving them as a client. We don't give a ton away, but we give them the confidence that we can execute on their behalf. We're going to get it done. We understand their niche. We understand what they're looking for, and we know how to do it. And we let them know what they can expect and when, and they feel really confident that we're being candid and we're not over promising and under delivering. To be really successful as a PR pro, again, you have to remember that not every client on a discovery call is the right fit for you. And you want to do that essential pre-work to vet your clients. If you have that spidey sense that it's like, this is just going to suck the life out of me, they're going to be a vampire client, it's going to make me dread hearing from them, don't discount that feeling. That is telling you something, because you deserve to be excited about the clients that you're working with. And that excitement, I think it's the thing that clients are like, oh my God, I love how excited you are about our brand. That is also important when you pitch the media. You have to believe in it. You have to love it. You have to care about it. That has to come through. It comes through in your tone when you ask them questions, and it will really wow them. Yesterday, she was like, I love that you're interested in trying. I love that. We're going to send some stuff your way so you can fall in love with the products too. If they're proud of their products and they need their PR rep to experience them. Also, how can you write a strategy if you don't even understand what's unique about their stuff? So if they are a product-based business, don't be shy. Ask to sample the goods, because you need to know what it's like. I mean, if it's crap and it's like, this is gross and I don't want to pitch it, I would be embarrassed to ask our contacts to consider this. You have to know that too. So you have to love the work you're doing for the clients that you're doing it for. The other thing is, try not to commit to a price or your fee on the phone. Instead, so the most I'll really commit to is like a range, and I'll always come in on the high end so that the low end of the range is kind of what I'm looking for, so that they feel when I put the proposal together that I've been flexible and I came in at the low end of our range. But instead, what I try to say is that we have to put together a proposal and consider their needs based on their goals and objectives that we discuss on the call. But again, you can give a range with like starting at, and give the range where the price you're leaning towards is on the low end of the range. And then it would be something like our fees currently are ranging from X to Y, but I'd really have to give it more thought as we build out a proposal for you. So let me get back to you with that when I submit our proposal. And that should be adequate. And if you say it and they're like, that is way outside of budget, then you probably can say, well, I don't think that it would be worth our time to submit a proposal. Sometimes they'll say, yeah, no, it's cool. We have, let's see the budget. And I'm like, it's between this and this. And they're like, yeah, that sounds reasonable. And then you submit the proposal and they get back to you and they're like, this is way outside of our budget. And you're like, well, we had this conversation and you said it wasn't. Anyway, that rarely happens, but it does happen. I want you to also have this mindset that even if it doesn't work out with a client, don't look at the calls as a waste of time. And I also don't take every call with somebody who reaches out to me. I'll either refer business out. We poke around, look at their site, look at what they're all about, and decide, is this cool? Do we like it? Can we do a great job with this? Would we be able to be successful? And if the answer is no, or it's too small, and I have the sense they're not going to have the budget for us, then we will refer them out. So at that point, the people we're actually talking to are already pre-vetted, so I haven't wasted our time. Then we get on the phone, and if it doesn't work out, my mindset is always, you never know what's going to happen. That person could remember you, recommend you to others, or come back to you at a later date. Gail, when you say list your services, do you mean in the proposal or on your website? And also in the proposal, I don't like to offer a la carte because I don't want to have to. In our agency accelerator, the main thing that we are trying to get you all into is a flow state in your business so that everyone, okay, so both. So if they ask for it specifically and I'm willing to do it, then I don't list our services on the website in terms of like bundled. It's just kind of like, this is what we do, like earned media, social media, influencer marketing, whatever, brand partnerships, all that stuff. It's just general on the website. But in a proposal, I will listen to what they're asking for and I parrot it back to them. So when I'm on the phone, I take notes and I will use their words because they'll tell you what they're looking for and you can almost parrot it back to them. But I don't offer a la carte services unless it's a really, really big client with a huge retainer or a huge budget for that piece. Because like I said, in the agency accelerator, the goal is getting you in a flow state in your business so that there's not a lot of stops and starts, so that you're not managing multiple clients doing different services at different times. And you have to remember, oh, well, this one, we don't do that for this one, but this is a really great opportunity for them, but I can't mention it to them because they're not paying for that service. So I just tell clients, look, when you're part of our agency, you are part of our family, you're part of our roster, and we get great inbound opportunities because of our connections in your niche in the media that would be a great fit for you. And we're able to leverage connections. Connections that we take. Hi, Tamron, I see you. Let me get back to you in 1 second. Connections we make on behalf of like other brands that maybe are bigger and more well known, and you can come in based on those connections. Sometimes our clients have huge budgets for paid integrations and then or paid affiliate or influencer opportunities. And I get to say, oh, by the way, we have these other clients and you don't have a budget for that, but we're able to get in the door because another client does have a huge budget. And so now they're talking to us and they're like, what else do you got? And they love that we just gave them $30,000 for a brand partnership. And they're kind of like, yeah, let me check out your other client. It happens. So I don't want clients to miss opportunities. And on my end, it makes it so much easier to just serve clients in our retainer fee way that we serve them and get them onto this kind of process where we're in a flow state. Let me answer Tamron. I would like to know how you say no to a lead that isn't a good fit. Like, for example, it's too small, not something passionate about, or simply it's a capacity issue and have too many clients with dates around the same time. All of those are great reasons. It's not a great fit. It's outside of our area of expertise. I really love what you're up to, but I don't feel that we are the best fit for you. Maybe you recommend someone, maybe you use our community and you post it and say, hey, I had this lead. Does anybody want to talk to them? They're looking for this specific expertise. Sometimes I'll say we're not accepting new clients at this time. Sometimes I'll say it is a conflict with an existing client. Not that we're lying, but that's the reason. Even, if a brand is too small or it's kind of like, again, you're not passionate about it, I will look at it, and if it's remotely connected to something else we're doing, we'll say it's not a fit, not a fit, but we can't accept them because it's a conflict with a client that we're currently supporting. Or we'll say that we are not accepting new clients at this time. Or because that makes you sound also very exclusive, like, oh, they're fully booked. Like, I wonder what the magic is behind the curtain kind of thing. And I know, Tamron, your industry is very tight knit, and the players in your industry all know each other. So I would maybe say that, I love what you're up to. This is a really cool and interesting project. However, given the date, we are already overcommitted and we wouldn't be able to provide you with the level of service that we are accustomed to. And that's kind of how I position it, is that there's too much going on my end to be able to, provide them exceptional service, and therefore we can't take it on. We wouldn't want to not be able to give them the full experience. Does that help? Let me know. So, getting on these calls has great value to you, even if it doesn't work out. And inside the Agency Accelerator, we cover this topic of vetting your clients in so much more detail. Tamara says, okay, great. That's kind of what we've been doing, but I never know if it lands well on the other side. That's up to them. If you come at it from the perspective of, you're not turning them down because you're like, this project is lame and I'm not interested, or I don't think anyone's going to care. You're coming at it from a care and concern and a service, a place of providing service. How could they think that that's not a positive interaction? My goal is just always, like, even if it doesn't work out, just set them adrift in the world in the most positive way and say, like, nice to meet you, go off in the world and thrive, and they'll have a positive experience with you. So I'm sure it's landing well. So again, in the Agency Accelerator, we go deep into this, and we show you how it fits into this bigger framework of how to run a profitable agency with consistent, predictable, recurring retainer revenue. That is my goal for everybody. Make consistent, predictable, recurring revenue and love the work you're doing. So it's just a little tiny piece of this overall framework that we are teaching to inside the Agency Accelerator. And we just created this new freebie resource. It's very, very good and helpful, I think. We're getting a great positive response to this one, but it's the PR Agency Action Plan. It's the 12 steps that you need to take in order to grow and scale your PR agency this year. If you click through and download that action plan, you get a PDF and then a video of me. Maybe you want to watch it another day because we just chatted for almost an hour, walking you through the steps and explaining how it all builds on itself and why you need to be thinking about these specific areas in your business. So download that, really, really good. It'll get your wheels turning, and maybe you'll start to see some areas of weakness or where you can improve in your business to bring in more consistent clients that you love and really know how to maximize profits in your business. So that's what I have for you guys today. I love this topic. It's my favorite because I love sales. I love getting on calls with clients. I look forward to it. I get really excited, especially if it's a brand I love. I'm like, okay, got to get the wheels in motion to get them in the door. So, that's why I loved my call yesterday, and it went better than expected. So I will keep you guys posted if we land that one. Really excited about it. Does anybody have any questions about this topic or anything else? Posted in the chat. Nelson, let's celebrate this win. Jen, I have a huge hit for my client. They're being interviewed in 10 minutes by the Wall Street Journal retail reporter. That's awesome. So cool. Congrats. Post it in our group when it runs. Do you know when it's going to run? That's so exciting. Congrats to you. And thank you for sharing that. It's really cool. And everybody else that's here, I really appreciate you spending time with me. Not yet. Within a week. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys spending time with me. I have some things I'm working on that I'm so excited about, and I hope it happens. Hi, Eva. Nice to see you. I'm leaving. You got here a little late. Watch the replay. I wish I could talk about it, and I'm staring at this thing on my screen that we're working on right now. I just have this goal and vision for serving this community in the biggest way possible. And I am trying to figure out how to make it happen in a way that's bigger than anything I ever imagined we would get to. And so we're working on something for me, it's very big. I'm not going to be like, oh my God, it's so exciting for you. I think it will be, if and when it happens, But I have to say, the one thing here that feels really good is this is a big leap for me. And my husband is just like, I want this for you. I really want this for you. And he's using his expertise, his know-how to help make my dreams happen. And it just feels really good. Like I just am so excited. Whether or not it happens, I think it will. But it's just this feeling of being supported. And my husband is just my biggest champion, and he really makes me feel like however big my dreams are, however big my goals are, it will happen because I'm the one driving the ship, and he's there to support me any way possible. And so when this came up, I was like, I'm a little nervous to tell you. And he was like, hell yeah, this is awesome. How can I help you? How can we make this happen? And we've gone through it multiple times in multiple ways. And he is still, there's a part of it that's not tangible. My husband's a numbers guy. So the intangible part he's having a really hard time with. And he just looks at me and he says, I trust you. Eva, I can't say right now. We're under NDA, but I promise. Thanks, Sasha. Hi. I promise. I'm not trying to be like coy in any way. I'll fill you guys in, I hope sooner rather than later. But it's just something that I hope will allow us to expand and be more inclusive and offer more and provide more value and just help our community in a bigger way. And it's a big deal for me and for my business. Big step for us. And hi, Serena. Oh, how are you liking the pitch lab? Anyway, it's exciting for me, and hopefully it allows us to be more, but my husband is just like, I know there's a piece here that isn't like fully, that I wouldn't fully understand because it's not easily monetized or whatever. But if you say it's valuable to you, I totally trust you and I want this for you and we're going to make it happen. And Sasha says it will happen. You have done a wonderful job with this group, and I love the support and community here. I can't wait. Oh, I love hearing that. Thank you for being a part of our community. That is the best. I love it. So yeah, I didn't mean to come on and like reveal something and be like, I am a secret. It's not. It's more just like, I want to do more for all of us. And this is a big step, and it's expensive and super time consuming if this happens. But my husband is like, I'm here for it. Whatever you need to make your dreams happen, we will make it happen. So I just feel so supported. Unless he's sleeping at 6 a.m. when the dog needs to go out and he pretends that he can't hear her when I know he can't. Just lays there and the dog's like, so I'm like, are you going to get up? Like, I don't hear her. Yeah, you do. Still getting this dog to sleep. Anyway, I'm waiting just to kind of hear if anybody has any other questions, or Serena, if you want to let us know how you're liking the Pitch Lab, one of our newest members. Anyway, grab that free resource I just posted. I'll post it again. It's very good. And hope all is well with all of you. I will see you real soon, next week, of course. And in the meantime, engage with the members of this community, like Sasha, Serena, Nelson, Eva, fantastic people, best on the internet for PR pros, I promise you. Okay, guys, we'll see you next week. Have a great day. Bye.